you're struggling to get consistent stops in college football 26 with all the new plays and formations they've added, we've got you covered. Today I'll be going over defensive tips and tactics that will help you get your defense right overnight and have you formulating actual game plans to start getting big hits and turnovers in college football 26. I'm Chris from Sports Gamers Online, and all right, let's get it. Be aware of your own tendencies. If you're always picking mid-blitz on third down, even though you think you're mixing it up on first and second, your opponent is still geared for that blitz to come. When they're prepared for it, is the best time to not do it. If they're clearly making all the adjustments in the world to be ready, use the fact that they remember you do that against them. You can also take an educated guess on what your opponent might do by what you're currently showing them, and you can lay a trap that way by showing you're exposed somewhere when you're really not. And if they hot route anybody, which you can tell by the receiver doing a hand motion that they plan to attack that spot. If you had success with a coverage or blitz and they didn't make any radical adjustments like formation changes or 1,000 audibles or hot routes, don't jump ahead of your opponent and have it in your mind they already solved what play you just ran. Let them prove they can solve it and do it consistently before you comfortably leave it. Don't overthink what your opponent is thinking and stick to it. If you believe you had a sound coverage or blitz and they just got lucky, do it again if everything else is equal on their side. A lot of players don't adjust as much as you think they should. If your opponent gained yardage on a play on you and they no huddle, remember that play, because even if they change it the very next time they snap it, if they continue to no huddle, that play is still locked into their wheel of plays, and they may try to sneak it in again on you. If you're not a big blitzer, what if I say you're better off blitzing the first couple of plays to make them think you are, and have it in the back of their mind the rest of the game with every adjustment they do. And you may even find out, oh, this dude gives up gifts when I blitz him. One of the most impactful things you can do before the snap is messing around with your formation's shell coverage. And your shell coverage is your defense's pre-snap look. And the sweet thing about it is it can be completely different from what you're actually running by using the right stick and moving it up and down. No matter the play call you select, your positioning of your defenders will replicate that of whatever shell coverage you select. Playing Madden or college way back before you can do this, you can just tell what the defense was in by how they lined up a lot of the time, and this is here to blur that line. Like, let's say you want to take advantage of the fact everybody knows nickel mid blitz, but you come out in a cover 2, but your shell says cover 0. Your defense will line up as if they're about to send the house, especially with the safeties lined up across from the wideouts. But if you bring up the PLAYART, it's anything but, or show zone, but you're in man. So many possibilities. With this, the strategy is never let your pre-snap look give away your actual coverage too often. Make sure your opponent is never quite comfortable with what they're about to see. Don't want guys to be so comfortable they're doing stuff like this. Make them take an extra second to uncover what you're really in. Again, your pre-snap look should never consistently match your actual coverage, unless your defense is so much better than the offense that it doesn't matter. Keep them guessing and they'll start second guessing themselves into mistakes. Your user control defender will always be your most valuable player, so you have to play on a linebacker or safety to make the most impact. And 2 key tips doing so I can tell you is, first, your peripheral vision is your best friend, meaning the area in your immediate vicinity. If you wait to see somebody come open first, it's already too late if the routes are spaced apart decently well. So basically, instead of focusing on one receiver, you want to look to that general area you're in and take educated guesses on who's about to come open and what read your opponent is on. And secondly, know your angles relative to the quarterback. The easiest way to increase your pick 6 frequency is on anything underneath going towards the sidelines. You want to start undercutting these routes instead of continuing to try and follow the receiver. Doing this gets you in between the quarterback and receiver for potential house calls. And on anything towards the middle, get immediately in between the receiver and the quarterback. You can't play around here, as it's the quickest way to the end zone down the middle of the field. Taking user defense a step further, you're able to teleport over the field with the flick of the right stick and the switch stick system. A quick right stick movement towards any direction switches you to the nearest defender in that area. To take this to the next level, you want to know where you want to go before you switch by predicting who's about to come open on offense, while keeping your left stick engaged so you can immediately pursue your new target without wasting crucial reaction time. And your opponent even tells you which way you should switch by which side they drift toward. This tool is so powerful, you want to use it to disrupt offenses completely. Now let's talk about our coaching adjustments. And setting up your defensive adjustments get you in the door of making good plays on defense and making sure your computer AI does what you want. First, we want to start with auto flip, defensive play calls set to on. This ensures your defense automatically adjusts to the offensive formations, preventing situations where you're badly outnumbered or have defenders completely out of position. But setting this to off gives you the power. If you want your flat by the cornerback to always be on the right side of the field, for example, this is for you. You want to set defensive motion response to default so your defenders automatically adjust to offensive motion rather than getting caught out of position on basic motion plays. Next is cornerback matchup settings. Overall rating matchups push your best defender on their top receiver regardless of the different strengths and weaknesses of each. Matching up speed helps against the guys that just like to outrun you across the field. It's pretty self-explanatory. Matching it up by height becomes crucial against teams that rely on jump balls. Route running works best when you're a man-heavy team, ensuring your best cover guys handle their most dangerous route runners. And doing it by depth chart the old school way maintains positional consistency. Make sure if you like having a cornerback on one side of the field, this stays true to that. Now we're in the option defense section. I feel like a lot of people adjust this in-game after they allow their first 20-yard QB run. So let's get this out the way immediately at kickoff, as option plays are another beast that needs special handling. Option read key affects the guy with the R above his head, usually the defensive end or edge defender. I like to always set this to conservative. This forces the offense to hand it off to the running back rather than letting the QB keep it and run around the side. A good portion of players run the read option to take it with the QB and get around the edge, so you may get some misreads forcing them to hand it off, and they don't want to. Option pitch key affects speed option plays most notably, and I want to set this to aggressive. Again, a lot of gamers run speed option to pitch it. Force them to make the decision they don't want to do with this. This forces the read defender to stay with the pitch man and have the quarterback play hero and keep it. These two are all about what the expectations are, running these and using it against players. Next, we've got the defenders being attacked in the RPOs with the R above their head. For RPO run key, this is the defender that is being read in RPO plays. We want him to force the handoff to the running back here by setting it to conservative. We don't want them to get into their other options here. In RPO pass key, this attacks the defender that has to choose whether to play the run or let up a pass right behind him. You want to set this to conservative, so force them to stay back. Now zone drop adjustments lets you tell your defenders in each assignment how far down the field you want them to cover, giving you optimal control over what they're covering at every moment. And first off, there's flat zone drops. These affect hard flats, soft squats, and cloud flat assignments. So all the blues handled by cornerbacks and slot defenders. You can change the individual defender to one of these as well by hitting triangle twice or Y for your Xbox, then the defender's icon. Then flick the left stick, left for hard flats, right for soft, and down for cloud flats. Or manually control the player you want to change and hit X or A. To globally change all defenders, hit triangle or Y, then up to play over top and trigger a cloud flat, or down to play underneath and trigger hard flats. And hard flats are the shortest zones you can play here, and they're good when you know your opponent likes to throw it short. Next, we got curl flat zones. These control the intermediate areas and affect slot corners, linebackers, and defensive ends. These defenders can be manually assigned to curl flat, quarter flat, or seam flat responsibilities by hitting X or A and using the left stick or double tapping triangle or Y, then moving the left stick towards the desired assignment. Playing these deeper allows you to cover routes that attack the sidelines here. And lastly, hook zones. Hook zones manage the middle areas of the field through hook curls, middle reads, and vertical hook assignments. And another new feature this year is you're able to mess with the positioning of the safeties as well. How far you want them from the line of scrimmage, how far apart you want them, and which side of the field do you want them shaded towards. Next up, new this year is the ability to activate stunts along your defensive line. There are two ways you can activate them. From the defensive play call screen, hold the plays button to activate different stunts involving different players. You can choose just 2 players or all 4. Plus, pick the direction you want it to come from. To lock in that stunt, just let go of the defensive play calls button. And on the field, hit left on the D-pad, then hold R1 or RB, and you can access your stunts here as well. The great thing about them is they can create pressure without blitzing, even for weaker pass rushing teams, giving you another tool to rush the passer while keeping your coverage intact. And also new this year is the manual depth adjustments. When you're on the field and they're giving you a look that your depth may not cover, double tap triangle or Y, then select your necessary defender, then hold L1 or LB the whole time to manually adjust the zone depth of that player with your left stick. Or manually control the target you want, hit A or X, and then hold L1 or LB, and then move your left stick that way. Manually adjusting their depth may seem like a lot of steps, but after a couple of times, I can surely say you will get better at it and faster. You can also tell your defenders to play to the first down line by hitting Y or triangle, and then L1 or LB to have your defenders ignore their assigned zone depths and immediately run to the first down line. This is important to get all your zone defenders to the necessary depth to defend the first down line and only the first down line. So be careful as you're vulnerable to deeper routes doing this. To defend deep balls effectively, you want to make sure you have control of the receiver's outside shoulder. So making sure you're in front of them here and keep them there. And when you do, you can control how that interaction is going to go. So shading your defenders outside can help with this. Never let their shoulder nearest to you get in front of yours, as this gives them all the leverage to maintain their advantage. You can pass and run commit by hitting RB or R1, plus moving your right stick in different directions. Let you pass commit to receive a boost to your defense if you're right, and a run commit boost if you guess the direction of the run. But if you guess wrong, you're in trouble, so don't rely on this too often, and only when you're confident about the play call. Also new this year is you're able to jump routes with your defenders if you guess correctly on the route the receiver is about to run, whether it be an inside route or an outside route, by holding RB or R1 and then flicking the left stick to the left or right to commit your defenders to sitting on routes that go in that direction. Again, like the pass and run commit, if you guess wrong, your defender will give up all his leverage here and allow easy completion. I've been loving being able to do this sitting on outside routes for the guys who like to do those little whip routes. And this is all about initial positioning. The wideout can still outrun your defender. It'll just take them longer to do so. Before the game, check who your opponent has. Don't get caught slipping, giving up an 80-yard touchdown and then realize he has 98 speed. Here's what you need to scout: quarterback's mobility. Understand whether you're facing a pocket passer or mobile guy. Who's their go-to targets? You can also find this out the further along in the game you go. Does he have anybody fast? This key info can help you prepare better and better predict their attack, so you're not getting blindsided by players you didn't know were on that roster. If your human opponent gets hit, check where his receivers were and who he was about to throw to even. They may feel like there was some unfinished business there and won't take note that you saw it too. What are his favorite routes? Throughout the game, make note of what routes your opponent has had success with and or likes coming back to, because during the end of the game and they need a big play, be assured they will cook up that route once more. To have a successful blitz scheme, you want to be a threat from different parts along the offensive line and not let your opponent get too comfortable with what they're seeing and where you're coming from. You can also mix up your looks even more by hitting Y or triangle and then moving your left stick to the left or right to simulate a 2 deep or 3 deep look as well on top of what you came out in. Hitting R1 or RB and then L1 or LB lets you QB contain your two edge rushers. This helps contain the edge and keep the quarterback in the pocket, forcing them to throw. If you believe your opponent is about to play action and you want your guys to stay committed to the pass, simply hit Y or triangle and then up on your right stick to play the pass, and your guys won't bite on the play action fake. And lastly, to be able to see what assignment the guy you are directly using is supposed to be on so you don't go rogue immediately, go into your settings, then game options, and all the way down to control player art, and turn this to on to see your player's assignment during the play. Sorry sports gamers, these defensive tips should give you a solid foundation to start causing chaos to your opponents in college football 26. Remember, defense still wins championships, and it all starts with understanding the tools you have to work with, getting in your opponent's mind, and capitalizing. Sorry, I hope this video was able to help you out, and if you like the content we provide, make sure to subscribe to Sports Gamers Online for more college football 26 content. And once you're with us, hit that bell icon at the bottom so you don't miss anything we put out. All right, people, I'm Chris. Thank you all for watching, and be good, y'all.